Hey guys, today I'm going to draw my life. I hope you enjoy! I was born on May 7th in North Carolina to my mom and dad. I don't really have any memories in North Carolina because my dad was in the military, so we moved a lot. At age 3, we moved to Okinawa, Japan, and shortly after, my sister Caitlin was born. It was cool living in Japan because we had family there that we got to see. My mom taught Japanese students how to speak English, and every time they would come over, they would bring me toys and treats. My mom also ran a daycare, so it was fun because there was always so many kids at the house to play with. When I was 6, we moved back to the States to Orange County. One of my dad's work friends had a daughter who was around my age, so they made us play together and we became friends. Her name was also Jackie. We would dance and sing in the garage to Spice Girls and invite our families over to watch us perform. I really loved performing in front of people. It was so much fun. We only stayed there a little before we had to move again. When I was 8, we moved to San Diego, and that's when we got Callie, our little Lhasa Apso. I loved her so much. She became my bestest friend. It was hard for me to make real friends because I was so shy and we always moved around. That's why I usually got made fun of at school because I was always the weird new girl who never knew what was cool or not. Right before middle school started, I entered the Hawaiian Tropics beauty pageant. I had no experience with pageants, but I loved performing in front of people, so my parents thought it'd be a good idea. That year, I was crowned Little Miss Hawaiian Tropics. It was a real confidence booster, and I felt great. After doing pageants, my parents enrolled my sister and I in acting class, and from there, we got our first agent. I wanted to do more acting work, but I was hired for mainly print work. I even got to model for Hewlett-Packard computer paper, and when my dad was overseas for work, he actually saw my picture. It was super cool. So once I got into middle school, I thought everything would be fine with my newfound confidence, but I was wrong, very wrong. I went to 3 different middle schools, which sucked. I never liked being the new girl. I remember coming to school wearing my backpack really low because that was cool back at my old school, but at this school, wearing your backpack really high was the cool thing. Bullying was a big part of my life in middle school and no one even knew about it. I never told the few friends I had because I wanted them to think I was cool, and I never told my parents either because I didn't want them to come to school and make a scene. I even lied to my dad and let him believe that I was the popular girl in school. I remember being in middle school and this group of girls would always talk bad about me. They sat near me in math class and I would hear them laugh and talk about how ugly I dressed or how stupid I looked. Sometimes I wore a skirt over my jeans or my hair in pigtails. I liked trying new things with my look, but they always made me feel like such a loser. I always kept my head down in class and never made eye contact with anyone. I wanted to cry sometimes, but I would just try to pretend I didn't hear them talking about me. Some of the things they said about me were so nasty and mean that I became a follower. I would copy how other girls dressed and did their hair just so I wouldn't be made fun of anymore. Because of this, I lost my own sense of style, and that's why fashion has always been a struggle for me, even to this day. During all my bullying years, my parents were going through their own problems, and even separated for a little, which was really weird for me and my sister to see. We didn't understand what was going on, but luckily my parents got back together, and that's when my sister Brooklyn was born. When high school started, I was still a follower. I was really scared to be made fun of again, so I still copied the way other girls dressed, but during my freshman year, I met some really awesome people, one of which included Johnny, and they liked me for me. I felt comfortable being myself with them, and I'm so happy I met them. Throughout high school, I started to date guys because it made me feel special and wanted, but each one of them hurt my heart in their own unique way. In high school, I played soccer for the JV team, and I even got to be captain one year. Okay, technically it was spirit captain, but hey, it was still cool. I also ran track. I started out with sprints, but then moved to long distance, and I always came in last place in all the races. I just wasn't good at track, but it was a lot of fun. I even acted in theater, which was so much fun. A few of the plays I was in were Pinocchio, The Crucible, and Little Women. Junior year, I started dating my best friend Johnny. We were scared to take our friendship to the next level because we didn't want to ruin the amazing friendship we had, but luckily it all worked out. My senior year, I got recruited for an after-school job at Hollister and worked there for about 2 years. I loved working there and fell in love with retail. It was really easy and I met some cool people. After graduating high school, I went to San Diego State University, and I was there for about a year and a half before I decided to drop out. Yes, I'm a college dropout. It's not something I'm proud of saying to people, but I just didn't know what to do in college. I didn't have a plan or path to follow. During my short time in college, I started my YouTube channel. It started out as a hobby and a distraction from schoolwork. I didn't even take it serious or tell anyone I even made videos. Once I left college, I definitely got an earful from my parents. They were so mad at me, especially my dad. He told me if I wasn't a full-time student, I had to move out. It got to the point where I was kicked out of my parents' house. So, I took what I could and I moved in with Johnny and his family. It's not what I had planned to do, but I was only 18 and didn't know what to do at that point. But I'm so thankful Johnny and his family welcomed me into their home. They are seriously the sweetest people ever. A year later, I was able to move back to my parents' house. During all this time, I was still making YouTube videos, but I got a new job as a receptionist at a salon, and I had planned to go to beauty school. But the salon was really boring to work at, so I left the salon and started working in cosmetics at Macy's. While I was there, I met the business manager at Benefit and left Macy's and got my job as a freelance makeup artist with Benefit Cosmetics. That's when I learned that I didn't need to go to beauty school to do makeup, and I wasn't even sure I wanted to do makeup for the rest of my life. While I was working at Macy's, I once again got kicked out of my parents' house. I swear I'm not a bad child or anything. I'm not rebellious or disobedient at all. My dad and I just don't see eye to eye, so again I moved back in with Johnny and his family, but this time I only stayed a few months before I was able to get my own little apartment. So I guess that brings us to today. I still live on my own in my little apartment, but my relationship with my family, especially my dad, has gotten a lot better. I'm doing YouTube videos full time now, and it's seriously so surreal how my hobby grew into something I could live off of, and I have you guys to thank for that. I still work at Benefit as a freelance makeup artist when I can, and I'm still dating my high school sweetheart Johnny. And I think I've grown into a more confident person than I was during my school years. As for friends, my very best friend Callie is no longer with us. We lost her last December, and it's been so hard without her. But I'm so thankful I was able to share 14 amazing years with her. I have a few close friends that I've met because of YouTube, but all of them live in LA, so I rarely see them. As for here, I have one close friend, and her name is Tori. We met working at Hollister. And because I don't have a lot of friends, I've grown really close to my family. I mean, they drive me crazy sometimes. Really crazy. But at the end of the day, I still love them. So that's pretty much my story, for now at least. Who knows what will happen or change in the next few years. I just hope that I continue to grow as a person and learn not to care what others think of me. If I want to wear a skirt over my jeans and my hair in pigtails, then I will. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye, have a magical day.